okay? Nobody's here anyways. It took me forever to try and figure this out because again, I've never used Twitch before. Also, are my headphones plugged in? They are. Okay. They're not plugged in but connected. So, first Twitch stream, it was a little difficult. But we got it. We figured it out. My problem was I couldn't figure out how to do the like saving the stream, you know? And I had to figure out how to do all this other stuff because I had to go to like the desktop version. It was a lot. Anyways, so if you saw, oh wait, no, it erased. So I actually had recorded a video of me like opening the first chapter, like cutting it open and everything. And I don't know what happened to it. I tried to like cut it and then like rewatch it again and the audio just completely messed up. I don't know what happened to it. So I just erased it and I put on the video that hopefully is what you saw to make you come here and see this now. But anyways, gonna do the first chapter for Meet Cute, okay? Or not first chapter, but first story, okay? It's by... This was my problem earlier. I couldn't pronounce her name. Katie Cotigan? Cotigno. Hold on. Hello.
Hello.
Can I tell? How do I go back? No, I don't want to end it. How do I come back? Guys, I don't know how to do this. Hello? Hi. Can I come back? Shit! Okay. Oh, okay. I really should have watched more tutorials on how to use this stream. Anyways, that was my dad coming in asking me to make him chili. So I'm gonna do that after I finish this. Anyways, so Meet Cute. Okay, first one is by Katie Cotigno. Okay, I'm probably still saying that wrong. It's called Sieg Etiquette. Okay. Alright. Again. Or not again, you actually didn't hear that. Again, there's this whole video that I thought you guys saw and you did not because I messed it up and I couldn't fix it anyways. But I'm not the best reader, so bear with me here, okay? You're getting another beer in the kitchen and watching two badly dressed sophomores try not to be too obvious about the fact that they're staring at you when the cops show up outside Madison Campbell's house. Okay. This seems very tweeny, which I don't necessarily hate, but we're gonna see if I like it, okay? Because I'm into stuff like the kithing booth, and now the kissing booth and stuff like that. So like I don't know if you guys have ever watched or read Heartstopper. Love it, love it. But yeah, I just thought it was gonna be a little bit more adult. But anyways, back to it. Jay says when he spies them, you follow his gaze following the living room window where, sure enough, two cruisers are gliding to the curb with their lights flashing, silent as sharks. Friends are here right away. He heads down the stairs to the basement. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. Anyways, this feels like popcorn reading. Why did I do this to myself? Anyways, right away, he heads straight down the stairs to the basement, motioning for you to follow without actually waiting to see if you do. Boyfriend or not, you guess you can't really blame him. After all, it's not like you get in trouble anymore. Everybody down, Nicole calls from the hallway, flicking the kitchen lights off so you're plunging into the darkness, save the glow of The water dispenser on the front of the stainless steel fridge. Nicole's parents are both law professors an hour away from here at Cornell, and firm believers in the importance of exercising one's constitutional rights. Anyways, I mean, I can't. Okay, let's just keep going. Never open up the door to the police unless they have a warrant. You know what? I'm not against this anymore. You've heard them say over a number of bagel breakfast at Nicole's kitchen table, same as other parents. Other parents would remind you to make sure to be home by curfew. Somebody get the rest of the lights. Are you serious? A panicky-looking freshman asked as everyone dashes for cover into bedrooms and under the coffee tables inside the immaculately organized pantry. You're not going to let them in? Do you want to go to jail? Nicole snaps, which seems a little dramatic. Turn off the music. That doesn't seem dramatic at all. As someone who thought they were going to be in a situation like that, but then it ended up being the neighbors that the police came to, she's not being dramatic. Get down. Turn off the music. They'll be gone in a minute. You're not entirely sure about that exactly, but before you can register your concerns, the bell is ringing. The police are knocking hard and insist on the front door, glowing flashlights visible through the frosted glass. The combination of noise and sound sets something off in you, a cold animal panic. Suddenly, it feels very important to hide. You scurry up the short flight of stairs. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to stop this again, but I really. I'm back. So I hope that's on mute when I do that. I think it is. Okay. Where was I at? I really like that this is in like a third person point of view, because it, as someone who was a Tumblr, Wattpad, and would also read the ones that they would put from there onto YouTube, fanfic reader of like One Direction fanfic, I like that it's in this like point of like the same kind of like they write it the same way that I would read one of those stories, you know what I mean? Didn't mean to expose myself and my freakiness right there, but you scurry up the short flight of stairs, off the foyer, and through the closet door, shutting it firmly behind you before turning around and realizing that it's a bath. Whoa, what kind of typos is happening here? There are closed parentheses, but there were no parentheses that opened. Anyways, it's the bathroom, and B. Wolf Goshen is sitting on the edge of the tub in the dark. Hi, he says. You say fuck. Hi. Okay. Definitely not for tweens. Maybe teens. I'm just kidding. Hi, he says. You say fuck. Hi. Sorry. Wolf says, standing up and wiping his hands on his jeans. I can get you out of here if you have to. I mean, everybody was just yelling to hide and stuff. I kind of panicked. No, I don't need to, you exhale, heart pounding with a savage ferocity. Woolly, holy, disproportionate to the seriousness of this situation. That happens to you sometimes now. Oh my god, why did I do this to myself? I'm so bad at reading. That happens to you sometimes now. The cops are still ringing the doorbell. I mean, that's why I'm here too. Oh, Wolf nods. Wolf, who names their kid Wolf? I hope this is just, oh, there's a person here. Hi, nice to meet you. If you say anything, just know that I'm not being rude of not replying. I don't know how this works, and I don't know how to read things that you say to me. So I'll probably see it eventually. I'll figure it out. But hi. Again, Wolf, weird. Oh, Wolf nods, shoving his hands into his pockets. Okay. You look at each other for a moment. You breathe. Wolf has been in your class since kindergarten, but you've never actually talked to him before. He only ever comes for half the year because of some arcane agricultural law that lets him be homeschooled for the fall semester so he can help his parents at their farm. Oh, it's a farm boy meet cute. All right, all right, all right. Don't hate it, but I see what's happening here. Homeschooled for the fall semester so he can help his parents at their farm, 30 miles outside Ithaca, and now Kiev. One of the last working family-owned operations in the entire state of New York. Every autumn you forget about him, and every January he shows up at school again, blinking and dazed like he spent the last 6 months wandering dumbly through a cornfield. You've never seen him in a party before in your life. I came with my cousin, he explains, like he can see you wondering, as if he thinks you're going to ask to see his past. You think he might be afraid of you. You'd probably be afraid of you if you were Wolf. You know Jared? He dates Madison now, so I came with him. You nod, not particularly caring. God, this whole night sucks. You're about to make an excuse and get the hell out of here. But before you can come up with something plausible, the beam of a flashlight shines directly through the bathroom window. Oh shit. And like an instinct, you're grabbing Wolf's arm and jerking roughly, pulling him back into the shadows beside the tub. Sorry, you say once the light has moved away again. Close call. It's okay. Wolf sits back down on the edge of the bathtub. Why was I looking where I was going? It's the top. When you were little kids, he was notorious for falling asleep at his desk every day during free read. See, if I would have taken advantage of free read, I wouldn't be having so much trouble right now, but I didn't. His fingernails were always too long. You remember not wanting to get stuck next to him in line or at lunchtime or in the Star Lab, a traveling planetarium that came to the school every year. Do you guys remember that? That was a thing. That was the Stargaze thing. I know my best friend would know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm using my phone, so it's okay. She always talks to me about it. It's like this like dome thing. It's like an inflatable. You go into this little hole to get in there, and then it's like kind of dark, and then they show you like all the constellations in there. Anyways, a traveling planetarium that came to the school every year. All of you are crawling into a big inflatable tent in the middle of the gym to look up at the constellations. One person who's here, I'm so glad you're here to experience that, because that was insane. Anyways, oh my gosh, that was great. That was actually so crazy. Don't be giving that boy a hard time, Haley. Dude, hold on, my dog's being crazy. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Back to where we were. Don't be giving that boy a hard time, Haley. Your mom scolded when you came home and complained about it. You were already popular back in elementary school, and she was worried it was going to turn you mean. That's a good mom right there. She's got enough trouble without you piling on. It occurred to you all of a sudden that you never actually asked her what that meant. The police are still banging on the door, insistent. Madison Campbell, a man's voice calls, authoritative. I know your parents, Madison, and they're gonna want you to open the door now. Madison's parents are in Harrisburg, dealing with some kind of disciplinary clusterfuck at her brother's boarding school. For a second, you feel kind of bad for them. This happen a lot? Wolf asked. You sit down on the lid of the toilet seat. Sometimes, you allow. They'll be gone in a minute. In fact, you're not at all as confident as you sound. You've waited out the police in this very house before, plus once at Amber Dooley's, and another time, memorably, while fooling around in a coat closet with Jay at Nicole's. Normally, the parties lay low. The police get bored or tired or hungry, and eventually they go away. But this feels different. The last week of summer, two juniors drank a 12-pack of Budweiser and killed almost a whole fucking family at the intersection down by the Walmart. Whoa, that's crazy. Down by the Walmart. And now it's like the whole town thinks everybody else is breathtakingly stupid enough to do what they did. Listen, they are not stupid. They are just concerned. That's okay. That's footloose. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I'm just kidding. Anyways, it occurs to you as you listen to the hold on. My bad. I don't know how much you guys can hear in the background, but my dog was going at it with his weenie just now. I needed to make him stop. That was insane. So, it occurs to you as you listen to the incessant banging on the front door of the house that the McCormick County Sheriff's Department might be looking at. McCormick? Do you live in the land of spice? Like, what's... That's so funny. McCormick... Right? Am I stupid? That's the name of the spice company, right? Anyways, the McCormick County Sheriff's Department might be looking to make a point. Well, you think pulling your legs on the toilet seat and wrapping your arms around your knees let them make it if that helps them. Wolf is glancing at you across the bathroom, seemingly unconcerned about the scrum of law enforcement out on the front lawn. It's his first party, after all. You guess it's not like he's got anything to compare it to. Should have brought snacks, he says, sliding off the lip of the bathtub, making him comfortable on the tile floor, crossing his legs at the ankles, and before you can respond either way, he grins. You remember how Mrs. Hollander used to give out atomic fireballs during tests? The hell is an atomic fireball? I don't know, I just heard fireball. Like, what is your teacher doing? That surprises you. Mrs. Hollander taught 4th grade. Uh-huh. I was obsessed with those things, Wolf says. Every day I used to ask her if I could have them. Like, I used to get so excited for tests just so I could cram a bunch of fireballs into my mouth. I gotta Google this later. What is a fireball? And chow down. And finally one day she kept me after the last bell, and I thought I was in trouble. But it turned out she had been at the dollar store and gotten this giant tub of fireballs just for me. She told me I was going to make myself sick. But of course, I walked outside and ate like 100 of them all at once. Burned all of my taste buds off. It sounds like it's like it kind of sounds like those hot tamales, you know, like the cinnamon candy. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Anyway, that was the end of me and fireballs. He shuts up abruptly then, shrugging his shoulders. I'm rambling. It's okay, you say. You kind of... See, that's what I mean, right? It's not saying a person's name. It's saying you. I like that. It's like a your name type of situation, right? What the hell was I? It's okay, you say. You kind of like listening to him, actually. Nobody was talking to you about anything as stupid as Nobody has talked to you about anything as stupid as atomic fireballs in months. I don't mind. Just then, your phone buzzes with a text from Nicole. Where are you? She wants to know. The question followed by a long row of screaming emojis. Upstairs bathroom, you text back. WTF are you doing up there? We're all in the basement. Come down now. Are the cops still there? Because I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere right now if they're still there. What do you mean come downstairs? You come upstairs then. What? You look at the screen for a moment, then back at Wolf. You don't know if you're actually bothered to look at him before. Like, in your head, he was a walking sentient wheat stock? That's rude. That's not the impression you get now at all. So what you're telling me is you judged a book by its cover. So you just looked at him, and then the second you actually had a conversation with him, despite the fact that you've known him since kindergarten, is when you're like, oh, he's a person. Weirdo. weirdo. Oh, I just remember that this is saying it in like the point of view of you, so it's like I'm the weirdo right now. Sentient wheat stalk. That's not the impression you get at all now. His clothes are clean, if a little bit trashy. Light wash jeans and a faded t-shirt with the Ghostbusters logo on it, plus a pair of knockoff Timberland boots. His eyes are bright and intelligent and sharp. You could do okay. He could oh my god. He could do okay, you think, in a place like New York City or California where the past doesn't cling like the smell of dirty laundry. Unfortunately for him, this is a suburb of Syracuse. I've heard of that place. I don't know where it's at. People have long memories here. People have long memories everywhere, please. You turn your phone over so the screen is facing down, tucking it underneath you on the toilet seat. How's your senior year going so far? You ask him. Then immediately feel like an idiot, remembering that he hasn't set foot in school yet this year. I mean, such as it is. Oh, girl. Oh, I feel that. Wolf's mouth twists at that, not quite a smile. Can't complain, I guess. He tilts his head to the side, looking up at you. How's yours? Good, you chirp like a reflex, which of course is a giant lie, and not even a good one. And you're thinking that of course Wolf knows that, until the moment that it suddenly occurs to you that he might not. After all, who can say? Oh, jeez. After all, who can say what the hell news makes its way out to the Goshen family farm during harvest season? It might as well be medieval times over there. Okay. The idea of him not knowing makes him oddly compelling to you. Like, here's the one person in all of New York State. Okay, so they're in New York. Where are you? Okay, anyways. In New York State, to whom you're exactly the same as you used to be. So he's a New York farmer. Interesting. Okay. It's just different. Like, you're making him seem like he's like from like Appalachia or something like that. What? I don't understand this. New York State, to whom you're exactly the same as you used to be. You want to keep up the facade? You want to keep up the facade. I'm applying to schools mostly. Are you? You state and then break off, but there's nowhere to go but forward. Applying to schools? Wolf smirks at that. No, Haley, he says quickly. I am not applying to schools. Something about the way he says your name makes your stomach do a strange flip. You've never heard him say it before. No, Haley. I'm not applying to schools. Wait, he's from New York, though. No, Haley. I ain't applying to no schools. Okay, that one was bad. That was bad. That was still... I don't even know what I was trying to do there. I think I was trying to sound like a mobster, and I don't know what I ended up sounding like. I just used some hard-ass AAVE there. That's actually what I just did. Something about the way he says your name makes your stomach do a strange flip. You've never heard him say... Excuse me. Can you chill? What's happening? What's going on? Can you chill out? Hey! Calm down. Chill. Lay down. Okay, thank you. You've never heard him say it before. You look down at your hands in your lap, at your manicure. You look... Oh my god! Why is... and there's... Guys, I don't know if I'm doing all of this. Who knows? Anyways. You look down at your hands in your lap, at your manicure. You and Nicole went to the nail place this afternoon. She's been your best friend since 9th grade, which doesn't mean she probably doesn't talk about you when you get up and leave the room, just like everybody else does. It's entirely possible she's talking about you right now. Wolf reaches up and picks a fat candle off the... Whoa. I almost read cat for a second. And picks a fat candle off the side of the bathtub. Probably pumpkin or cinnamon or something equally disgusting. I mean, cinnamon doesn't smell that bad. I like the smell of cinnamons. Cinnamon bun. Okay. Cinnamon bun. Yeah, I like tomato potato. It's the same thing. And roots around in his pocket until he comes up with a book of matches. There, he says, lighting it and setting it back on the side of the tub. Is that a good idea, you ask? Motioning the window. They can't see it, Wolf says, and for some reason you believe him. He looks, I mean, maybe let's just save the romance till after the cops leave. You know what I mean? He looks oddly handsome in the flicker of the candlelight. All sharp cheekbones and serious expression. Nicole will die if you tell her that. You might not tell Nicole anything about this at all. This is a really ugly bathroom, you observe, instead of thinking about it. Looking around at the faux Mexican tile and brightly painted sink, the sunken bathtub that looks like its sole purpose was orgies in the 70s. Ha! Above the toilet is a framed stock photo of a baby wearing a shower cap and holding a rubber duck. I never really stopped to notice it before. Oh, I don't know, Wolf says, peering around. I could sit in here all day, personally. Have a bubble bath, read a romance novel. You laugh at that, surprisingly. You didn't expect Wolf Goshen to be funny, like maybe he's from some place where laughter is verboten? Where was I? You didn't expect Wolf Goshen to be funny. Like maybe he's from some place where laughter is verboten, and I don't know what that means. Verboten. Verboten. Okay. Anyways, and then you realize what a stupid thing that is to think. Use a bath bomb, you add. Wolf shakes his head. What's a bath bomb? He asks. It's like a fuzzy soap thing, you try to explain. You put it in the tub and it kind of explodes and bubble bath and sometimes glitter comes out. Wolf considers it. That sounds like a gigantic mess, he says. Sometimes, you agree. You look at each other for a moment. Neither one of you says anything. You remember suddenly a morning in the spring of 3rd grade when he came into a school with a hole in the collar of his t-shirt and a bruise the size of a new potato. Damn, this took a hard turn. On his cheek. You remember how afraid it made you. Not for Wolf, but for him. Like maybe black eyes were catching somehow. The memory makes you feel about 2 inches tall. The police are still shouting Madison's name. Doorbell chiming. It reminds you stupidly of the siege of Bastogne? Okay, I'm just gonna say that for now. Which was part of Pegasus! Okay, sorry about that. So my dog, I have kind of trained him to like get bugs. So when he sees like mosquitoes or flies kind of flying around, he'll get them. Like he won't necessarily eat them, but he'll kill them, right? Because mosquito, dude, I get eaten by mosquitoes like nobody's business. But anyways, the police are still shouting Madison's name. Doorbell chiming. It reminds you stupidly of the siege of Bastogne, which was part of the Battle of the Bulge in World War II. Lately, when you can't sleep, which is often, You've been reading all of the old history books from the shelves in your dad's office, poring over maps and committing battle plans to memory. See, that's been me, but like Black history books and stuff. Yeah. Support your local library. Poring over maps and committing battle plans to memory. You still have circles under your eyes to the color of overripe eggplants, but you think chances are good you'll pass the AP US History test at the end of the year. Wolf tilts his head toward the window, listening. Doesn't really sound like they're giving up, huh? You smile, though it isn't really actually funny. You smile, though it actually isn't funny. The siege of Bestow lasted for 7 days. Nope, you agree. For an instant, you wonder what might happen if you strolled out into Madison's lawn right now, wave to the police in the front porch, and go, "Hey guys, it's me, your good buddy Haley. Let's all call this off and go home." Your butt is trying to fall asleep on the toilet seat, so you slide to the floor and stick your legs out in front of you, and your knee is a few inches from Wolf's. He's got his head folded in his lap like he's praying. He's got long fingers and round knobby knuckles. The nails bitten way far down. Girl. You imagine them tending an animal or fixing some kind of complicated machinery, which immediately makes you feel like an idiot. What? Sorry, this is my issue, guys. Sometimes I'll read stuff and I just won't even know what I read. So, you just saw it in real time right now. Anyways. He's praying. He's got long fingernails. Blah, 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 blah. See, my thing is I bite my nails. I have bitten my nails, and that's why I'm just like, girl, no. Like, girl to him. Like, girl, stop biting your nails. Well, I guess he's a farmer, but no. Anyways, you imagine them tending an animal or fixing some kind of complicated machinery, which immediately makes you feel like an idiot. God, you must be further gone than you thought. Your phone chimes again, then instant. "Are you okay?" Nicole demands. You can picture them all down in the basement, draped over armchairs and sitting cross-legged on the carpet, stifling giggles in the arms of their hoodies. You used to wonder if Nicole might have a crush on Jay, back when you used to care about things like that. Do you mean like before you got stuck in the bathroom with this guy? Is that what you mean? Used to, girl? Please. Girl is me, I guess, but still, damn, this is, oh my god. When you used to care about things like that, you think she might resent you a little, especially lately, although you know she would never admit it. You think you might resent you. You think she might resent you. You think you might resent you if you were her. Oh, okay. I was like, what? You switch the phone over to silent and tuck it back under your butt. But when you look up again, Wolf is watching you. "What are you doing up here?" he asks suddenly in a voice like the thought has just occurred to him that possibly this might be a trick. "What?" You don't understand the question. Same thing as you're doing," you say. "Yeah, but like, why are you up here with me and not downstairs?" His face has changed, gotten sharper now. Sharper somehow. "I mean, what are you after?" "What?" You say again, stalling for time. You can't tell him the truth, which is that you're up here with him in the bathroom because you cannot bear to be down in the basement with people who know you. Because you cannot bear to be anywhere at all. Telling him will break the spell, which is the whole point of being up here to begin with. "I'm not after anything," he shakes his head. "People like you are always after something." "Seriously?" Your spine straightens up again. "Yeah, I would be a little mad. What do you mean? Like, I know what you mean, but like, mind your business." Okay. Seriously, your spine straightens up against the bathroom door. "People like me?" Wolf shakes his head. "You know what I mean." "I don't actually." "Ooh, get up. Suddenly, you're spoiling for a fight. Craving it, even. Me. Girl, that's me. I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Lately, everyone is so fucking nice to you. There's a certain dark pleasure In this sudden nastiness, it feels good. Oh, she getting a little freaky because of the fighting. It feels good. It feels normal. And you don't know anything about me. I'm not stupid, Wolf insists. I will say, this sounds like the beginning of a little bit of a toxic relationship. But, like, you shouldn't like to be fighting. But anyways, Wolf insists. I'm not stupid, Wolf insists. As if you've called him stupid, which you have not. If you're up here with me instead of with them, there's a reason why. Oh, I'm sorry, you snap, drawing yourself up against the door and thrusting your shoulders back. Your anger like a fire burning... Your anger... Oh my god. Oh my god! Your anger like a fire burning deep inside your chest. In one of your dad's books about the Civil War, you read that the only real advantage that the North had was industry. That the round-the-clock shoveling of coal into giant roaring furnaces was the only reason the Union didn't fall. You think of that sometimes now. Okay, when the alarm goes off in the morning and you feel like you can't get out from under the covers, you imagine that you are a munitions factory. You imagine that you are an industrial factory. Okay. You imagine that you are a train. Okay. We are on the spectrum, girl. What's wrong with my friends exactly? What? Wolf looks stricken. Like he thinks you're about to go completely insane on him here in Madison Campbell's mother's ugly bathroom. It's possible he knows the truth about you after all. No, I'm not saying anything's wrong with my friends. You didn't seem to have a problem with them when you were with that. Whoa, where did it go? You didn't seem to have a problem with them when you were tracking your dirty boots all over their house and drinking their beer. You say snottily. And that's good. You think with some nasty satisfaction. That's exactly the kind of thing the old you would have said. Back when you were doing that, they were all just fine. Wolf's eyes so hot and injured. I didn't drink anything of theirs. He snaps. His whole body is suddenly made of angles. All shoulders, knees. Me and Jared, we stopped and got beers on the way here. Where we aren't freeloading. He sounds so... I mean, is it really freeloading if it's a party? He sounds so upset that you feel yourself often. He sounds so upset that you feel yourself soften. I was like, what? No, I know. You say, I didn't mean, but you did mean. A little bit. And both of you know it. You were picking a fight, using him as some kind of messed up scratching post. Your mother would be appalled. Sorry, you say finally. Leaning your head back against the door, all the energy has drained of you at once. That was bitchy. Wolf doesn't contradict you. You don't know anything about me either, he points out. Do you think this is like my dream? Like I've spent my whole life just dying to be stuck in the bathroom at some lame party with you? Princess, why did I think that we didn't have a name? Haley, duh. Princess Haley Atkins. Why did that just click now? The stings, not the nickname. God knows we've been called worse. But the idea that he's doing some kind of favor, you don't want anybody's pity. You never have. A lot of people at school would die for exactly that chance exactly. Actually, you retort, which is more than I can say for you. Wolf blows a breath out, shakes his head a little. Wow, he says, disbelieving. You're kind of exactly as horrible as everyone says you are, huh? Damn, what? So then, what the hell are you still doing in here with me? Wolf shrugs. That's a good question, actually, he says. And gets up. Oh, oh shit. I don't know why I didn't see that coming, but I didn't. See you, Haley. Oh, he like left. Oh, he left. You remember something else, then pull from the depths of your brain like a slimy scum of seaweed. 7th grade. Piss in Wolf's gym sneakers in the locker room. All the boys hooting gleefully about it down the hall. You didn't piss in them yourself, certainly, you didn't piss on them yourself, certainly, but you didn't help him either. You've been thinking that a lot lately. All the teeny tiny choices that change your entire life. That boys got enough problems without you adding to them. Wolf, stop. Wolf, stop. You say reaching out and grabbing his ankle. His ankle? Damn, that's crazy. His ankle before you can think better of it. It's one. I'm reading this again because that's a crazy sentence. Wolf, stop. You say reaching out and grabbing his ankle before you think better of it. It's warm. What? It's warm and surprisingly solid through his jeans. Okay. Can you just wait for a second? What are you? Wolf shakes you free. Not him shaking you off like you're a little child hanging onto their dad's leg. Oh my god. Wolf shakes you free, but gently. Why? You sigh loudly, and then you just say it. Because I don't want you to leave. Yeah, just say that. Wolf makes a face at that. Openly skeptical, but he does what you tell him. Sitting back down beside you, closer than he was before. He smells like soap and grass and leaves. I hope he'd smell like soap. I hope it's good soap. Nothing like... Does he clean between his cheeks? That's what I need to know. Do you spread them? Do you think it's gay to spread them and put soap between them? I need to know that. I need to know that, Wolf. A guy named Wolf? I need to know what your hygiene routine is. Where was I? Smell like grass and leaves and nothing like you remember when you were a kid. What? He says, his voice low and flat. You think for a moment. What's your favorite thing? You ask him. About working on the farm? Wolf rolls his eyes. Riding the tractor. He deadpans immediately. Picking my teeth. What? Picking my teeth with hay, ma'am. Can you stop? You say, knowing you sound cranky. I'm asking you a sincere question. Oh, he's messing with her. Okay, I was like, what? Can you stop? You say, knowing you sound cranky. I'm asking you a sincere question. You're right. I don't know jack all about you, but I'm asking. Wolf exhales loudly. All right, he says, leaning his head back against the door, the skin of his throat pale and exposed. I like sleeping outside in the summer, I guess. My cousin Jared, who I came here with, we camp out most nights. Instead of staying indoors, that's what I like. He shrugs. Sorry if it's not farm specific enough for you. I mean, it's pretty farmy. You sleep outside. That sounds nice, you lie. Why you lying? That sounds nice. I like sleeping outside. Actually, it sounds terrifying. But to be fair, these days you're not exactly a good gauge of what's scary and what's not. You imagine it staring up at the sky with nobody else around, like if you weren't careful, you could fly right off the face of the earth and never be heard from again. Not too much. Like 2 or 3 more pages. So what about you? Wolf asks. He's not mad at you anymore, or at least he's decided not to act like he is. You feel disproportionately revealed. What's your favorite thing about being the queen bee? I'm not the queen bee. Bitch, I'm my own bee. You say automatically, which is also a lie, and both of you know it. But part of the power is in never having to admit it out loud. You're the most popular girl in your grade, or at least you were before everything happened. What happened? Now you kind of don't know I feel like I know what happened, and I just don't remember. Again, this is what happens when you don't read, kids. Your retention skills are horrible. You say automatically, which is also a lie, and both of you know it. But part of the power is never having to admit it out loud. You're the most... Okay, now you kind of don't know what you are. Curiosity, maybe. Wolf snorts. Okay. You shrug. The truth is that your favorite thing about being popular is being able to control when and how people look at you and what they say when they do. I don't think I think that's the complete opposite of popularity. I think You are completely out of control of what people think. I mean, how you look, I guess, but how they see you and how they talk about you, you are not in control of that at all. Sorry, girl. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but I oh my god. How people look at you and what they see when they do. Like, you're the curator of a fancy museum and your only exhibit is yourself. That's kind of cute. I like that, though. The problem is that lately you haven't been able to do it. You've lost control of your own story. Yeah, girl. Yeah. Somehow since everything happened. Nope. Oh, yeah. Somehow since everything happened, you can't figure out how to get it back. I like having a lot of friends, you tell him finally. It's a bullshit answer, but Wolf doesn't push. Yeah, he says, putting his hand down beside yours on the cool bathroom tile. That sounds nice, too. I forgot you guys were in the bathroom and sitting, like, on the floor next to the toilet. Yeah. That sounds nice, too. You look at each other for a minute. For a minute, you remind yourself that Jay is right downstairs. You and Jay have been dating on and off since last fall. Wait, you're with somebody? Holy shit! Hold on a second. You and Jay have been dating on and off since last fall, and by all high school metrics, he's a decent to good boyfriend. What is a high school? I need to know what this scale looks like. Boyfriend. Lord knows he got more than he bargained for when he asked you out the day by the fountain at the Clearview Mall. Still, every once in a while you're talking, you can see that he might as well be on planet Mars for everything he's actually hearing. There is something about Wolf Goshen that makes you think he'd listen for real. Oh my god. Stand up, woman! Then again, you think, see, that's my thing. I never shut the hell up, right? And my man will listen to me all day long. And I know he gets annoyed listening to me all day long, but you know what? He still does. Then again, you think, even as your pinky inches closer to Wolf's on the tile, maybe he wouldn't. You're dimly aware that you're making him up in your mind, even as he's sitting here. Wait, what? Are we about to find out that you slipped on the bathroom floor or some shit like that? Ooh, that'd be good. Like you're writing yourself into a story. You're dimly aware that Wolf is making you up too. Maybe it doesn't matter. I see what they're saying. Okay. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe for as long as you're in here, you can both be whoever you want. You pull your legs. That's like some Ted Mosby shit from How I Met Your Mother, where they both were like, we're not going to see each other's names, and we're only going to have this moment. And they were like, the best thing is the anticipation up to the kiss, and then they never kiss, and then she takes off, and I was like, gay! I was like, man, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe for as long as you're in here, you can both be whoever you want. You pull your legs up underneath you, look at him through your eyelashes in the dark. Through your eyelashes? It was your dream a little bit, huh? Little bit though, right? You ask him, smiling a little, to be in here with me. Wolf laughs at that. Are you serious right now? He asks, but he's blushing, and you know you've won. You are something else, truly. This took an interesting turn, like out of nowhere. You're about to tell him he's right. That you are something else, and that something can be his for one night only. Whoa! 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 Aren't you guys in high school? When you hear a familiar voice, damn, cockblock. Familiar voice trilling out across the driveway. Jay! She's yelling. Jay Montalto? I don't know. Are you in there? Oh, Jesus. You scramble across the bathroom and peek out the window like a prairie dog. But you already know that what you're going to see. It's Jay's mother. A big-haired Italian woman who has hated your guts from the time you started dating her son and continued to hate them now. Which gives you a grudging kind of respect for her. It takes a lot of brass balls to be mean to someone like you. Squinting through the screen, you can see a handful of faces you recognize. Jillian's parents and Harper's, even Nicole's parents. Volvo is parked down the street. Shit, you say, turning back to look at Wolf. Okay, this part has never happened before. Dang, girl. You just proved his whole point. Everything he just said about you, and you were like, no, yeah. They called people's parents? You shrug. Some people's. Wolf looks at you sharply. Fuck, he says, and you think you've alarmed him in the moment before you realize he's talking about his own. Maybe you really are selfish, as he thinks you are. Yeah, girl. For the first time all night, he looks sincerely afraid. You don't think... No, you tell him honestly. I don't think anybody would have thought to call yours. Wolf looks reassured by that, though not entirely. No, he echoes. I guess not. You're quiet for another minute. You can't stop staring at the window, even though you know somebody's going to see you. You guess it doesn't matter at this point. You guess none of it really matters. Here is what will happen next. You'll go home with Nicole's parents and sleep on the spare bed in Nicole's bedroom. Just like you have been... I forgot her parents are home. Just like you have been for the last 2 months. Because your parents aren't out here waiting for you in the silver SUV. You learn to drive... Wait. No, she didn't say what happened to... Hold on. What's going on here? Okay, I need to read this again later. Your parent... Whoa. I read ahead for a second. Okay. For the past 2 months, because your parents aren't out there waiting for you in the silver SUV. You learn to drive on... The silver SUV you learn to drive on. Angry at you for drinking and disrespecting authority, but relieved at the end of the night that you're safe. Your parents are in freshly dug graves at Woodlawn Cemetery, 6 miles away from here. This is such a Hallmark story. Okay? Popular girl, okay, that people don't like because she's a bitch. And the farm boy who's like homeschooled, and they get together and they completely misunderstand each other. Oh, plot twist though. She's even more misunderstood than he is though, because her parents are dead. Oh, well, I just laughed at dead parents. My bad. That's not the funny part. You guys know what I was laughing at. Anyways, and oh. Okay. I'm gonna read this whole sentence again. Okay? Just like you have been for the last 2 months. Because your parents aren't out here waiting for you in the silver SUV you learn to drive on. Angry at you for drinking and disrespecting authority, but relieved at the end of the night that you're safe. Your parents are in freshly dug graves at Woodlawn Cemetery, 6 miles away from here. And they've been since 2 drunk juniors from your high school T-boned them on their way home from a dinner at TGI Fridays at the end of the summer. In case you didn't know, that was the teenagers that they were talking about when I was making those Footloose jokes earlier. Okay? Damn, that's crazy. Did she mention that? Did she say that? Is this like a plot twist? Am I reading a plot twist? I can't remember. Oh my god, that's crazy. That was crazy. Oh. Anyways, if they were still alive, you like to think they would want you to go out and live your fucking life. Come here, you say, holding your hand out to Wolf in the darkness. Why? He asks, getting uncertainly to his feet. Because, you say, letting the non-answer hang there. You've never been the aggressor in a situation like this is your entire life. Like this in your entire life. And you find you do not hate it. Wolf comes closer, cautious. He's taller than you are by nearly a foot. You reach up, put your hand on the back of his warm, shorn head and kiss him. Like, that's all. Like, you guys had so much tension throughout this whole time. And getting caught by your parents is what made you go, blah, blah, blah. Girl, I respect it. Pegasus. Jesus. Oh, Oh, well, there you're getting a view of Pegasus now, of him trying to catch a fly in here. Oh, jeez. Um, where was I? See, this is how I end up reading ahead, because I do this. Kiss him. You don't hate that either. You don't hate that either, it turns out. He pulls back after a moment, blinking at you. What was that for? Keeping me company, you say, which is sort of the truth. Okay, Wolf says and smiles, kisses you again. He's not a great kisser, unpracticed, and a little spitty. I mean, he's homeschooled, girl. Who's he kissing? The cows? Like, but you, I mean, y'all ever heard of sheep farmers? No, I'm just kidding. But you actually don't care about that at all. There are tiny explosions going off all over your body, like sparks flying up out of a campfire. Wolf puts both hands on your face. You want to stay like this forever, even though you know it's impossible. That is just a weird stopover, like how during the Revolutionary War. This girl is so funny. She keeps quoting history during out this whole thing, and like, that's me, but we're just quoting two different types of history throughout life. And I'm like, dude, you just keep comparing your life to history, and it's very funny, because that's me. That's so me. She's saying this is like the Revolutionary War. The two armies took breaks and had Christmas together, then went back to shooting each other with muskets after the roasts were gone. You aren't sure where you got that fact, actually. You didn't read it in any of your dad's old books, and you don't know if it's true or just something someone made up to make the world seem less brutal. Here in this bathroom with Wolf Goshen, it feels like maybe it could possibly be real. I'm not breaking up with Jay. Oh shit, I totally forgot about that bastard. That poor bastard. Oh, Jesus. I'm not breaking up with Jay, you blurt finally, your face on fire and your whole body buzzing like, you kissed him! Girl, you kissed him! Like a burned out neon sign. It's hot in this bathroom, even with the window open. I'm not breaking up with Jay. Wolf laughs at that. A quiet, baffled sound. Jesus, Haley, did you hear me asking you to? He says, but he bends down and kisses you again, then his hands finding yours by your sides, and you're opening your mouth to tell him maybe he should ask you to. You're actually about, girl, why don't you just go do it? I don't know why this makes me angry. It's just a really weird first story. Okay, now I don't know if I'm excited or nervous for the rest of them. Okay, but to tell him maybe he should ask you to. You're actually about to say that when you hear the cops coming through the front door downstairs. Damn. Everybody out! A man's voice is yelling through the crack underneath the bathroom door. You can see that the lights have been flipped on in the hallway. Your heart is a siren wailing deep inside your chest. Somebody must have let them in, Wolf says. He's still holding your hands and your fingers twisting it absently together. And it's like you both realize at the same time, letting go too fast. I bet it was that fucking freshman, you say, clearing your throat and pushing your hair behind your ears. You're already thinking about how you're going to make your life a living hell. About how you're going to make her life a living hell come Monday. There are some benefits to being the queen bee. Haley, Wolf begins. But you hold both your hands together. Suddenly, you know what he's going to say. Don't, you interrupt, and you're surprised by how steady your voice sounds. You need to remember him as not knowing, even if that's not how he actually is. I mean it. You're about to say to me, I mean it. Whatever you're about to say to me, I really want you to not say it. Wolf looks at you. Okay, he says quietly. Yeah, of course. He wipes his hands on his jeans and blows out the pumpkin candle, motions towards the door. On the other side of it, you can hear people shouting like the goddamn end of the world. You ready? He asks. You won't even see him in school, you realize. By the time he turns up again in January, you'd probably both have forgotten all about this. You swallow down a sour taste like panic in your mouth. Yup, you say, because there's nothing to be done about it. There's nothing to do about any of it, but keep going. I'm ready. Wolf moves aside to let you pass him, your shoulders barely brushing. You got your hand on the doorknob, and when he changes his mind, wait, he says then, and hold on, I'm having a brain fart for a second, and I'm starting to slow down on the reading. Hang on, hold on, give me a sec. Anyways, Wolf moves aside to let you pass him, your shoulders barely brushing. You got your hand on the doorknob when he changes his mind. Wait, he says then, and Haley. When you turn around to look at him, his eyes are dark and wide. You rest your forehead against his chest for a moment, breathing. Wolf holds very, very still. You can hear the sound of his heartbeat, steady, drowning out the sound of a mayhem raging on the outside of the door. That's it! That's it! That's it! She just puts her hand on his chest. That's it. Like, this was actually a pretty good story. Like, this had a lot of little twists and turns here, but, like, that was a little disappointing of an ending. I really enjoyed that, though. I did actually really like this. I think it kept me very entertained. You know, just because I'm saying negative sounding comments through it does not mean I don't like, or doesn't mean that I don't like it. Okay, it just means I'm entertained. If I'm not saying anything, I'm not entertained. But that was a really good first one. I enjoyed that a lot. I will post whenever I'm about to do like 5 minutes before I'm gonna go live. I'll post when I'm gonna do, post me opening the second one. I'll post it on TikTok, and then you can come back here and see me read it. I didn't know, but I was looking when I was looking up how to do all of this. That when you put the option to save your videos so that people can watch them later, that it only saves from 7 for a week or something like that. So I am gonna fully save these and upload them to YouTube also, so that people can listen to it also, or not really listen to it. I didn't really read it audiobook style, but I'm just gonna put it on my channel, so it'll be on my YouTube if you want to watch it. So. But thank you for being here, the one person who is still here. I did realize where the chats were going to come through, so... But thank you for understanding that I probably wasn't going to see it eventually. But, okay, I don't know how to end this. I'm just going to end it.